Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Allura and I am starting this channel of Let's Open and Talk. It's been kind of on my heart for a while. My my inner spirit has been kind of nudging me for a while, and then of course my guardian angels have been telling me to start this channel, and I've been putting it off because I'm definitely not a person who likes to be in the limelight or I love to be in the background and helpful in that area, but putting myself out there is a little difficult for me. So here I am though. I started this because about a year ago I started a tarot channel that I do intuitive readings, and then as I was doing that channel, it really just started telling me as I'm doing my tarot readings, I like to give advice, and I bring up a lot of experience that I've lived through because I think those are the best counselors to me. I think that the best counselors that we can have in our life throughout this journey of wonderfulness here on earth is having friends or elders that have experienced what you're going through at that time and moment. So that's part of the reason I opened this channel, is because my spirits were telling me just make a channel where you just kind of bring up something and you'll talk about it and just give your advice, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I just wanted to do this little mini video to kind of welcome you to my channel, but also kind of telling you it's not quite sure what all we'll be covering. It won't be politics, I can tell you that. I am a spiritual believer. I believe in the love language. I believe in the gods. I believe in many different things that we'll touch on probably as we go through this video or other videos. But it's not really about my beliefs. It's going to be more about just areas that I'm being led to discuss. Maybe I know when I was going through my spiritual awakening or journey, it was coming out of the realization of my accepting my background and acknowledging my background and admitting what happened to me and my background and releasing it from me. So to give you a little bit of history of my background, I was adopted. Me, my brother, and sister and I were illegally adopted. We were taken away from our birth mom in not the right ways. They tricked her. And the social worker that actually did this was later indicted for doing this to about 30 or 40 other families. So we were child trafficked. We were used for our social securities, taken away from a very loving, beautiful, the most forgiving spirit I will ever know. So that does tell you that I have made contact back with my birth mom. I met her about 7 years ago now, and we have just, I'll go into that more probably in another video, but it's been a miracle, a beautiful miracle, and I have a wonderful relationship that we're still continuing to build and learning each other, and it's the most wonderful blessing in my life right now. She's actually helping me get through another tower moment in my life, but we will get into that later. So that is a little bit of my background. My brother, sister, and I were taken by her sister and brother, and we were raised in a very abusive Christian home. We were raised to think awful thoughts. My cat just opened the door. That kind of spooked me. Hang on. You can see me in all my glory here. But we were raised being told that she gave us up, that she didn't want us, just awful things about her that we were kind of trained to almost have hate for her. But yet, if you've ever been adopted, I know there's many out there that have been, you still always want to know or meet your birth parents. It's just a natural link because when you're born from your mother, there is a bond that cannot be broken, no matter who tries. But so it took a long time. I think I was 34, 35 when I finally got to meet my birth mom. And that's been one of the most favorite special days in my memories. So, a little bit more about my background. We were raised very mentally abusive, but there's also were a lot of good people in the family that were around us that helped us get, without their knowledge, probably through a lot of things that people didn't know were going on with us. We were It was a very strict, controlling Christian family, which in later we'll talk more about what they really were. I then married someone that I knew. Toxic behaviors, you grow up with that, then that's all you know. So of course I'm going to marry somebody that has those same kind of toxic behaviors. I divorced in 2016, and that started me on a journey of accepting who I was, getting to know who I really was, or am. Still a journey of that, but that started me on my spiritual awakening, as a lot of people like to call it, a spiritual journey of awareness, just the knowledge of wanting to know more and knowing that there's more out there than what I was being taught or hidden from. Let's see. I, of course, have nothing to do with the family that raised me anymore. Haven't talked to them for years, and I'm okay with that because I have my beautiful mother in my life, and I also have a younger brother that is now in my life that is just a beautiful gift. So I started this channel because I started a tarot channel last year. I've been trying to still upbuild it, but as I was doing that channel, I was noticing that a lot of my tarot readings, I'm not like your traditional tarot reader that just sticks to the cards. I am an intuitive, clairvoyant reader. So I listen to my guardians, I listen to the angels and God of light, Father of light, Mother of light. Give me the messages so I can relay them to whoever I'm doing the readings for. And as this is Thor, sorry. As I give my tarot readings, I was noticing, these last few years of mine, I have gone through tower moment after tower moment, learning and growing in myself, in my spiritual walk, in my faith, and love, self-love care, which I was raised about, had no idea in my 30s. It was almost embarrassing, what's self-love? Well, of course, sure, I love myself, right? But then it's well, what is everybody talking about in this spiritual journey? About this self-love. Why are they acting like it's so important? What is the big deal about it? So that was one of the things I had to learn, and that was a painful lesson. Or lessons, I'll say plural. But started this channel so that I can be one of those people that just talk. Because obviously, as I was doing my tarot readings, I was seeing that I just am always kind of giving advice and counseling along with my messages. So I kept hearing for a while, you should start a channel and just have it where people can talk, or you can give advice, give your life journey so others can learn from it. There's a reason why we go through hardships and finally learn our lessons, is so that we can help others who are going through it, or even just to be a listening ear, because sometimes when we're going through hardships, we don't want advice. We just want maybe somebody to listen to us. So even if I can just be on here and, counsel or, walk with you through life. If you contact me through my email that's listed in the About channel, um, I'm happy to talk to anybody. I am going to point out, if there's any negative people that join this channel or get on here, you're not going to get the satisfactory of having a back and forth exchange with me. I will just automatically block you and send you on your merry way. I have finally learned through my spiritual walk of self-love of I don't have time to argue with these trolls that like to go on these channels and try to be negative and downer pounders or whatever you want to call them. I just won't put up with it. This is supposed to be a channel to be encouraging, asking valued questions. I don't want to, give that, but I don't want negative name calling, down name. I just won't even, I won't acknowledge you. The only acknowledgement you will get is being blocked. And I'd rather you at least be on the channel and hear what I have to say. If you don't like it, move to a different channel. This wasn't meant for you. You don't have to be mean or negative about it. And you're not going to get the satisfactory of a discussion with me. So, that's kind of going to be what my channel is about. I don't know from day to day what it's going to be. I'm just going to hear what I'm supposed to speak and we'll take it from there. I've also been trying to get one of my lady friends. I call her Mama Bear. I won't give her name out yet because I don't have her permission yet. But she knows who she is. But we were thinking that, some of my videos will probably, hopefully, I'm putting her on the spot here, include her and I having discussions. Because, gosh, isn't that the time where you're like, we should have recorded that discussion we just had because that was a beautiful discussion, or, we really came up with some good ideas or learnings or lessons from our back and forth. And, to me, that is always what is going to be the best counselors are the ones that lived it, went through it. They can understand it with you and they really can say, I know what you're going through. And of course, everybody's situation is going to be a little different, but only the ones that have actually walked those same footsteps or, about can really understand. And then they can if they've lived through it and actually gotten a higher vibration from it where they've, learned the lesson that was meant to be from that tragedy or the whatever was going on in their life, they have got that wisdom now. So why not give it to the ones that are going through it now too? I think those are the only counselors we should have, not little young college graduates that, haven't truly experienced what it's like and trying to be, and I've had this. I've been in a homeless shelter before, a women's abused homeless shelter, and all the people there were, and that's great. That's great. They want to go to school for that. I'm not knocking that. What I'm knocking is being in an abused shelter and having a 18-year-old who's in college trying to tell you from a book how you should feel or how you should handle whatever abuse or form of tragic situation that you're trying to get away from and heal from. And the only experience they've had is going to school. They haven't truly lived yet. It was really hard. It was really hard going into a homeless abuse shelter, a women's abuse shelter anyways. But on top of it, I thought I was truly going to get the help, the therapy that I would love to have. And all I had were young college students that I was actually ended up advising to or counseling, which great. If I helped them, that's what I was there for. But I just, was seeing that when we were having our counseling groups, it wasn't the young girl that was leading or, and that's what she was there for. She was supposed to be there to tell us how to get over this abuse, or what would be our next steps. And the other women and I would end up having better discussions and getting more advice from others that have been through it. And then, I got to give advice too. And it was more of a circle. And I'm thinking, this is what it should be. Not having, just because you have a certificate saying you're a counselor doesn't really mean anything to me. And I'm not knocking anybody who is a counselor and you went to college. That's great. I love that you have a heart to help counsel. But to me, again, I'm saying I have gone to many different counselors, and the ones that have truly helped me have all been ones that didn't have the college degree or, licensed to be a counselor, therapist. The ones that truly helped me were the ones that have lived it and were maybe even going through the same things as me at that same time. But I definitely had the best healing, or like lights go off in my head, by ones that and I have had some people that were younger than me because they've actually lived homeless, or and they had gotten their life back on control, and that's who I value telling me how to handle this. Or it's almost like going to a marriage counselor, and this marriage counselor has never been married. How If you haven't done it and had to live in a relationship in a home as a marriage, or as with a partner, how are you going to tell me how to do it? It's just it. So that's how I am. That's my video. What this channel is about. I just wanted it to be, please ask questions or offer your situations. And each video is going to be I'm not quite sure. I know this one was just kind of an introduction. I thought I should give you just a little bit of my background so you kind of know I've gone through some things. Now I had to go into an abuse shelter for a little while. That was a low point of my life. I never ever dreamed that me and my two beautiful little boys would have to either have the choice of living in my car or going to a domestic shelter. And there were situations behind that, and that taught me a huge lesson, because I was kind of one of those people that always thought, oh man, homeless people, there's no need to be homeless, or they're, even if you don't say it out loud, we all kind of think it, like, oh, they're only homeless because they have an addiction or they're bad people. I'm here to tell you that sure as heck isn't true. Had to learn that the hard way, and I'm glad I did. It's opened my eyes a lot. I wouldn't want to do it again. Just pointing that out to the universe. But it did open my eyes a lot, and it gave me more of an empathy for low income, or just because you've been homeless, it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't always mean that you're struggling from an addiction and that's why you're homeless. Or we think there's more help out there for low income or abused women or men, because men can be abused too, but there's really not help out there. There's shelters, but they just like to pass you through so they can get the glory of the numbers of look how many people we help. But I probably almost wish that I just lived in my car and got back on my own 2 feet, because that's how I did it anyways. But the shelter almost helped ruin me more than help me. But again, there's always a reason. I'm a big believer that we go through things for a reason. There's always a reason for something that's happening to us. Sorry. It's my little boy that he likes to do everything with me. But so I've healed from being taken away from a very loving mom and raised by parents that weren't. I've healed from having to be a little homeless for a little while, or I'm healed from a toxic marriage. This isn't a video just to like knock my ex-husband, because yes, there were things he did that were not good. He's very toxic. Yet it was a stepping stone for me to learn how to say no, or I'm worth more. And so I'm not gonna go off on him. It's I just give that background so that you're a little more aware of what I've gone through. I have learned what it's like to be betrayed by friends and family that were paid off by your ex family. And these were friends or that even called me, oh, she's like a sister. I love her so much. When toxic people know that you're starting to heal and like wanting to get away from toxicity, they don't want to see you succeed. And I didn't understand that. I was so naive about that. And it still blows my mind, because I love to see and help others succeed. Because if you succeed, I succeed. If you're doing good, oh, I'm doing good. It should be an infinity loop back and forth. And I had to learn a very hard way that people that call you best friends will, if they're not in the right place in their own heart, they will turn on you like that. I had a lot of people around me after my divorce that I thought were good people, or when I started realizing kind of that they weren't doing legit things, I started to back away. It was more of like, I leave you alone. I don't want to do any more to do with this. Let me just step back. I thought they'd leave me alone. Where you just kind of, okay, we were friends for a while, but now I'm seeing some things I don't like, and it's worrying me. I want to get away. I didn't realize that they would turn on you so awfully, horribly. And that's up to my ancestors and their ancestors. They will handle their karma, justice, because I was betrayed horribly. I was lied about. They did it to help take my kids away from me and give them back to an abuser. And that's been a struggle, because you feel like a failure as a mom. And there's a lot more to it, but I'm in a horrible child custody battle right now. And let's just say the courts go with the money. They don't care if you're the good parent or bad parent. Have the proof of being the good parent, that you pass all the drug tests, pass all the mental evaluations. Yes, I've had to do these. If you don't have the money to pay off the courts, pretty much, yes, I'm going to say that's how it goes. That was has been another eye-opening issue, and I've met a lot of other parents going through the same thing. And again, there's not the help there that people all think, and that was another judgment that got taken away from my list. I never thought of myself as kind of a judgy person, but as I was going through each trial, another trial, I'd go, ooh, I used to kind of think that it was easier for people to get off the streets, or I thought everybody on the streets had an addiction, or, it was their fault that they're on the streets. And it's not. There's so much more to a story of a person. You cannot judge a person by their situation or by their looks, of course. And there truly is not the help out there for like child custody battles, lawyers. Right now I need $10,000. Well, it's like $7,800 that I need to get a lawyer, because our case is so difficult. Not everybody can just whip out $7,000 or $8,000. They said it would probably turn into a $10,000, if not more, case. So am fighting for that. I'm fighting to see my boys. So as you can see, I've been through a lot. So I'm not here to do the poor me. I'm using my background and what my trials so that I can hopefully help others get through what you're going through. And we can be just a sound source. The more we open up, the more we share and not hide what trials we're going through. I know sometimes you just want to, but sometimes after it's good to open up and share with others so that they know, I don't know what you're wanting in here. No. Sorry. And just share. That's how we help others get through it. That I know the only way I've been getting through it is by like the friend I mentioned, Mama Bear, and I have another good childhood friend that I am very blessed to have. And she and her family have been very, just even knowing that they are there for a sounding board, or, knowing that they believe in me and praying for me helps me. But also, I've had some new friends come into my life recently, and that's just been a huge blessing to help just get me through this hump, because there's still days it's really hard for me. I don't get to see my boys like I should. There's not a fair justice going on at this moment in time, but I do believe that it will. And I believe that I'm going through this for a reason. So if this is the reason to get onto YouTube and chat away, here I go. If I can just help one other person, then that's worth it to me. And I'm not a person that loves the spotlight, that loves listening to myself talk. So I feel like I'm doing on this YouTube channel, but this has been being pushed on me to do, so here I am. So that is, hey, nope, you are being so naughty. So there you go. I hope if you guys have ideas too, if there's a topic you'd love to talk about, I'd love to hear it. Either put them in the comments or email me. My email is included on the about. If you look on my channel, where it says about or info, something like that, please email me at that email, excuse me. And I am gonna check out now because I have a crazy cat. But this is gonna be how my channel is. I'm not gonna edit and restart, and because then I would never get a video out, because that's how I am. Because I can't stand watching myself. I don't even like listening to myself talk, just because it's all new to me. I'm just not been one of those people that do good and like, it's so natural for some people. That is one thing I'll admit I'm a little jealous about. But here we are. So Thor and I welcome you to our channel. Let's open up and talk. I'm going to sign out. Be happy. I'm going to send love, joy, and peace to you. And may you have a blessing